Hi, and welcome to Carolina Women. We have a wonderful show in store for you today. We're here at FWDG. We'll be talking about all kinds of fall things that are coming up, and it is, I can't believe it's August and we're talking about this. We're talking about education. All of our kids, some of your
Everyone's
kids.
back to school, so
Right.
the timeliness is very fitting.
Exactly. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Christina Powell. Good to see you.
Thank you.
She is actually an educational therapist. We thought it'd be fun today to kind of chat a little bit about what an educational therapist does. Do they do fun things or important things?
Oh, we do both.
Right?
We do both. An education therapist is an individual that helps other individuals understand how they learn and think best. Everybody has a unique learning profile, but students that have ADHD or special education needs have a little extra unique profile.
Yeah, they're not always thriving in the
Right.
environments they're
Yes.
in.
The word executive function comes up a lot with my caseload.
Keep the
and I'm sure-
glossary terms
Exactly.
at my level, please.
Well, but I think it's really important to keep executive function in the mainstream. What is executive function? Because that's really what you specialize in.
Absolutely. Let me give you an example. So a CEO of a company is the executive, and they're the individual that keeps the company running smoothly. Organization, planning, time management, goal setting for the future. If any of those executive functionings are interrupted or not working correctly, the company is not thriving. So if we take that and we put that into a child or an individual that may have a brain injury, that may be neurodiverse in their thinking, whether it's ADHD or autism spectrum
Correct.
disorder, their executive functionings may need to be understood on a different level. And that's where an education therapist comes in. I try to capitalize on their strengths. I help them with strategies and techniques to help bolster their learning.
And that's what I was going to ask you. Are you skill-based? In other words, the goal would be to bring a child in and you'll assess where their strengths are with their executive functioning, maybe some of the gaps.
Yes.
And then you take that with your child and fill in those gaps.
Absolutely. So what I do is I sit down with the parent and the child first, and the parent will let me know what are some of the deficits that they're seeing, what are some
Sure.
of the challenges. And then I sit down with just the child and say, how do you think you're functioning, right? What does that look like for you in a regular school day? And I wrap it into the academics. How are your grades? What teachers do you like, or what subjects are your favorite? Why? Where are you thriving and where are you having difficulty or challenge?
This must be a huge relief to
Oh
the
my-
child and the family, just
Exactly.
to identify and then sort of apply some solutions.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think instead of making this a bad thing, it's sort of like, okay, here's who I am, how do I work with it? Educational therapy is pretty much of a new field though, and so are you going to be specializing with children, adults? How does all that work? Because I know you've got a broad spectrum practice.
Absolutely. So at the therapy center, we do work with adults and children. My focus is students. So whether that is K through 12, even college students.
Oh,
Just because it's a critical time, they're
Absolutely.
growing, developing.
can you imagine teaching a college student time management and getting them
No,
organized?
I think we all could benefit from this, to be
Absolutely.
honest.
I think over time we develop coping strategies in order to help us get through life.
Right.
As an adult, it's oftentimes very challenging. When I see an adult, it's usually because of huge gaps and
Okay.
difficulties in their life that
Or
they're now
some
coming to
kids,
me saying,
you know,
I need help.
They resign themselves to, oh, I'm just not a good student.
Right,
Or,
I can't do
You know
this.
what I mean?
I can't read, I can't.
100%.
Yeah.
Confidence building is the most important thing that I do. So as an education therapist, I see myself as their biggest cheerleader, and I'm able to articulate the problems and the challenges to the parent, saying these are the deficits, these are the gaps, and this is what we can do to help.
Exactly. One of the things that I thought that she told us that was really interesting was you can actually go online and help someone organize their calendars.
Yeah.
I know that sounds like a silly thing, but it's huge.
Well, I'm able to peek into their portals, whether it's through Google Classroom or Canvas or something else they're using at university, and be able to see where are your grades? How do you get around? Do you even know how to submit assignments, right? What teachers grade immediately and what give great, who teachers give great feedback. Very important.
If people are interested in chatting with you, I'm sure as a therapist, a lot of other therapists would be like, you are a resource for us that
Right.
is unbelievable.
Because there's an emotional fallout
Wow.
if you aren't getting these things in balance.
I'm so open to that, to being collaborative
Love
and
it.
helping kids.
Yes.
I'm online.
It takes a village.
Absolutely. I think that's my motto, right? We're here to help holistically in a child's education.
What we'd love to do is we'll get you back on again as the school year progresses and see how our kids are faring.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Powell, for joining
you.
us. Stay with us. There's a lot more to come here on Carolina Women.